This is the Wrestling Takeover podcast. This is the official state of the WWE. We got a lot to get into, so let's get it started.
Welcome to...
You're listening to the Wrestling Takeover.
What is your name?
With your host, Jordan Turner, who's always going to keep it real.
Come on, King.
Inside and outside the ring.
Let me make myself clear. He's got the fans behind him, King.
It's time to take over, King.
Are you ready? He's all fired up now, King. The Takeover.
Let's go.
What's going on, everybody? Hopefully you guys are doing well. Welcome to the Wrestling Takeover podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Turner. This is Tuesday, December 16th, 2025. I have a lot of things that I want to get off my chest on this particular state of the WWE with my opinions regarding Gunther retiring John Cena, talking about the aftermath of John Cena, talking about the promo that Gunther cut on Monday Night Raw last night, among other topics within the WWE realm. But before we get right into it, though, guys, I want to let you guys know that for the remainder coming up really, really soon, towards the end of December, I am trying to put out as much content as I can, because towards the end of December, I will not be up here doing videos. I'm going to be taking a step back. I'm going to be analyzing things on where I want to take the podcast moving forward into the new year. So I'm trying to get out as much video content as I can for you guys, because towards the end of it, I am going to be on a break. I'm going to be on a mental break from this, and there's going to be no videos coming out towards the end. So there's still going to be State of the WWE. I'm going to be putting that out every Tuesday, but towards the end of it, I'm going to eventually stop. I'm going to be putting out the best wrestling matches of the year coming up as well, so you guys can look forward to that. And I'm also going to be talking about the Women's Royal Rumble, 2026 Women's Royal Rumble. That I'm going to be putting out a new video about that, so you guys can look forward to that. So those are the upcoming videos. After that, I will be going on a break. So I just wanted to come up here real quick and give you guys an update on what's going on with the Wrestling Takeover podcast. But now we got out that all of that stuff out of the way. Be sure to follow the Wrestling Takeover podcast on Instagram at the Wrestling Takeover. Follow me on social media, Twitter at JT Takeover, and continue to please support the Wrestling Takeover podcast. We do what we do here, right? We're very honest. We're very respectful, right? And this is the most creative and honest podcast in the wrestling space. And I want to let everybody know that everything that I say on this podcast, everything that I tweet out in terms of, my opinion, and I really want to run this home, because we're going to begin with the aftermath of Gunther beating John Cena and people giving their opinion. And the problem that I have is there are people giving their opinion, and that's fine. But people like myself who felt like Gunther, and this is the first time you guys are listening to this, the right decision was made at Saturday night's main event. I'm going to say that right now, okay? That's my own opinion, though. I feel Gunther was the right person at the right time to defeat John Cena and retire John Cena, okay? So that is my stance on that. That's my opinion on that. Now, here where we get into the problem, and this is what I really want to come up here and talk to you guys about. Maybe you guys feel the same way as I do. I know there's many people that do. They reached out to me and they say, hey, yo, I feel the same way. I think Gunther was the right opponent. I feel like the right circumstances was made. Tapping out John Cena was the right decision. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm not the only one who feels that way. John Cena has been this motto of never give up, hustle, loyalty, respect. But the never give up moniker was completely evaporated on Saturday night when he tapped out. And people were on social media and, TikTok, Instagram, or whatever, and they were giving their opinion. But those people were saying, I would rather have John Cena, fallen asleep, right? And I'm like, that would not have been a good look on Gunther from this perspective. And I feel like people are missing a perspective. Gunther was out there saying that he's going to tap out John Cena continuously, week after week after week. I'm going to tap out John Cena. So from a mindset perspective as a fan, okay, bet he's going to tap him out. The visual of John Cena tapping out was still so real to me, even though I was on here repeatedly saying, I think John Cena should tap out. It would make Gunther's aura even more greater. And, people are out there, I didn't want John Cena to tap out. Gunther wasn't the right choice. We got what we got at the end of the day. I feel Gunther was the right person to defeat John Cena. Other people didn't. That's perfectly fine. It is what it is. The thing that I'm tripped up about and the thing that's confusing me, did y'all not see the smile? And I'm mainly focusing on the people who are upset that John Cena tapped out. Did you not see the look on John Cena's face before he tapped out? That man was smiling. He was smiling because his job is finished. The carrying, the burden of carrying his company for decades is no more. All that energy, all the wins, all the momentum is going from him to somebody else. And Gunther has a burden now. Gunther has a responsibility. And it's not just Gunther, it's the creative team. Have a responsibility of making Gunther one of, if not the biggest heel in this generation. Gunther needs to have that mafia boss type of a persona about him, the attitude. He's got to have that because John Cena gave him that responsibility. John Cena wanted this to happen. And this is also why I don't understand why there are people out there who are really, really devastated. Like, y'all got to look at the bigger picture, the bigger conglomerate, the bigger plan. This was John Cena's plan. He wanted to tap out. He wanted to tap out to Gunther. He wanted to give the keys to the kingdom to Gunther. He wanted to give the responsibility to Gunther. All of that is now on Gunther's shoulders. Triple H loves Gunther. He sees something in Gunther, just like I do, just like many other people do. And I understand that there are people who are not fans of Gunther. They don't get it. And that's cool. That's cool. If you don't get it, that's understandable. But for people out there who feel like, oh, Gunther isn't great in the ring, he's not good on the promo. For people who say that Gunther is not good on inside the ring, y'all are tripping. I don't know what you're looking at. So that's here nor there. That's light work to me. But for people out there who say that Gunther is not good on the promo, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Gunther is a different type of level heel. If you're not a fan of Gunther, that's fine. I'm not tripping about that. I don't care. You have your opinion. I have my opinion. We keep it respectful. We keep it peaceful. And we move the fuck on. Simple. It ain't that serious. It's just pro wrestling. For real. But for people who just have this opinion that, oh, Gunther's not good at anything, what are you talking about? He's good on the promo. You're blinded by your opinion of you're not a fan of Gunther. So you're not going to give the guy any type of credit. And to be honest, the in the ring credit, that's an excuse to me because we all know he's good in the ring. We could all see it. We know he's great in the ring. But everything else you're not a fan of, that's fine. That's is what it is. But the promo, come on, man. We know Gunther's great on the promo. Stop trying to be different. Is what it is. It's your opinion. But stop trying to be different. You get me? Keeping it 100, man, because like I said, I always keep it real on this podcast, man. If you want real opinions, respectfully, but real opinions, real adulterated opinion from a fan like myself who watches the same thing y'all watch, but has a different perspective, has a different mindset, has a different, perception on what he sees. You know what I mean? From my mind, and you want to hear someone that's honest, the Wrestling Takeover podcast is definitely for you. But for Gunther, I have always just felt very confused as to why people are not a fan of Gunther. And I honestly feel, let's keep it a stat, I feel people are bringing up bullshit excuses. Let's keep it real, okay? I feel people are bringing up just excuses as to why you're not a fan of Gunther. It is what it is. So, Gunther being the person to defeat John Cena was the right call in my eyes. It was the correct call. It was the right call. He's the villain. John Cena is the hero. The hero went down. The hero doesn't always have to beat the villain. It doesn't always have to be like that. The script changed. John Cena changed the script. He said, you know what? I'm going to lose. I'm going to give back. And I feel that's what the main thing people are missing who are frustrated. You have every right to be frustrated. That's cool. But the problem is you're not seeing the bigger picture, though. And this is where people like myself come in and try to educate you guys and try to see and tell you to look at the bigger picture. This isn't just about John Cena. This isn't even just about Gunther. This is about the responsibility that John Cena had in giving that responsibility to a new up-and-coming superstar. Up-and-coming, quote-unquote, but a new superstar of this new generation in the WWE. So this aftermath of John Cena and the frustration, like I get it, but at the end of the day, y'all got to see the bigger picture. Y'all got to see the bigger picture with WWE telling you, they're directly telling you, Gunther is the future. Gunther is our guy. And we're going to put all the ammo into Gunther. Let me holler at y'all for a second, for real. Gunther is going to take that responsibility that John Cena gave him. And he's the new legend killer. And I want to bring this up. I want to bring up a TikTok video. And I'm going to be responding to it. This girl has Athena is her name. She's been on social media, on TikTok, giving her opinion on the WWE product. Majority of the things that she says, I do not agree with, respectfully. But to each their own. It is what it is. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's just professional wrestling. It's just WWE. It is not that serious. Okay, but this is her giving her opinion on the Gunther situation. And I'm going to be responding to it in the most honest and respectful way possible. Let's take a listen to what she has to say.
Really trying to gas up this Gunther promo that he had today on Raw. Like, dude.
And it happened last night. Okay? It happened last night. I'm just reacting to it right now. The promo by Gunther. It was a simple promo. And this is something, I'm going to continue to play it in a second. But I want to make my point. The promo that Gunther cut last night on Monday Night Raw was very simple. I put out on social media yesterday, if y'all want to follow me on Twitter, at JT Takeover, I put out on social media, hey, yo, Gunther needs to go out there. And you need to do the same thing that you did with Roman Reigns when Roman Reigns defeated The Undertaker at WrestleMania 33 in Orlando. He cut that simple, simplistic promo. Didn't say nothing for like 15 minutes until he said, "This is my yard now." Simple, to the point, and we all thought that was going to be the heel turn. It didn't happen. But that blueprint, that simple, simplistic blueprint, WWE did take with Gunther. It's just that Gunther went even more into it, letting people know, like, yo, I'm this dude. I'm him. Y'all gonna have to accept it. John Cena ain't here no more. Deal with it. Accept it. And people weren't accepting it. Gunther needs to be, and we're missing modern day just heels in professional wrestling. Not just the WWE, but in professional wrestling. This is WWE's opportunity to make Gunther one of the biggest heels of this generation. I'm not talking about just one of the biggest heels in WWE. I'm not talking about just one of the biggest heels in wrestling today. No. I'm talking about one of the biggest heels, or the biggest heel of this generation, of all time. Of all time. You have the blueprint. You provided it to Gunther, defeating John Cena. Now let's see what you're going to do with that. It's perfect. Gunther being the modern day legend killer. I have mentioned it on my podcast, on my show. I have also mentioned it on Instagram. I have also mentioned it on Twitter. Gunther needs to be the modern day legend killer, retiring all the legends. He retired Bill Goldberg. He retired John Cena. We seen a tease on Monday Night Raw with him and AJ Styles. He might retire AJ Styles. And I know that Brock Lesnar match might happen somewhere down the line. I don't know if it's going to be at WrestleMania or SummerSlam is in Minneapolis. If I'm WWE, I'm really thinking about booking Gunther versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And that being Brock Lesnar's last final match. Period. If I'm WWE, Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Just get that out of the way. Now, we might get Gunther and Brock Lesnar. I'm cool with that. But Gunther versus Brock Lesnar in Minneapolis, Minnesota at SummerSlam, in Brock Lesnar's last final match, that makes more sense to me. But if it happens at WrestleMania, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. But let's get into this video because there were things here that this lady said and I do not agree with. And it just seems that she is forcing the hate to Gunther. And it's just something with Gunther that I don't understand why people don't like him. I just don't understand it. But like I said, it's just pro wrestling. It's not that serious. It is what it is. But let me play the rest of the video. And I'm going to be responding as the video goes on.
I've said this on multiple occasions, man. Gunther getting pushed this hard still does not make any sense, considering Gunther is not even that good of a heel.
So, okay. So, she doesn't understand why Gunther is getting the big push that he's getting. Okay. You know, Vince McMahon has his favorites, right? He has his favorites. Tony Khan has his favorites. Sweetheart, Triple H has his favorites. And Gunther is one of those people. You got to accept it. It's going to continue to happen. So you just need to accept it. Okay? You could be upset, all you want. That's cool. But like with the Jey Uso thing, they were really pushing Jey Uso, and I just had to accept it. I was not a fan of Jey Uso in a singles capacity. I wasn't. Okay? But they were pushing him, and I had to accept it. Now he's in the tag team division where he should have been the entire time. We're here. Let's get it going. Okay? But with Gunther, you got to deal with it, girl. You got to deal with it respectfully. He's not going nowhere. He is going to be one of the biggest heels in WWE in many, many years. Best believe that. What do you mean you don't understand? Look at the way he's been presented. Look at his push. You can tell off the rip that Triple H is a fan of Gunther. You could tell off the rip that Triple H is going to invest his time into Gunther. And for the people who are not a fan of it, y'all gonna have to deal with it.
He has not done anything significant this year. His booking has
Let me continue to play it, okay?
been completely inconsistent. He hasn't told any good stories this year. He hasn't cut any good promos this year. Like,
Okay. Let me sit down real quick. Let me get myself together real quick. Okay. So, the promos. Once again, we're back to the promos. If we're going to be real, not a lot of people cut good promos this year. Why are you zinging just Gunther? So, you're reaching from that standpoint. Okay. Number 2. He hasn't told any good stories. Can you elaborate? What do you mean by he hasn't been telling good stories? It's not his fault he was feuding with Jey Uso the entire time. So let's keep it a stat. Let's keep it P. Okay. His feud with Jey Uso was done majority of the year anyway. Okay. So that's all he was doing for the most part. So you zinging him on that, oh, he hasn't been telling good stories the whole year. He's been feuding with Jey Uso majority of the year. So that's not his fault. Okay? That's not his fault. All right? So that's inconsequential. That's reaching. That's another reach. Again, like I said, you don't have to be a fan of Gunther. That's fine. But there are people like this lady right here is just grabbing straws as to why they're not a fan of Gunther. She has not made any valid argument, a point, nothing regarding why she's not a fan of Gunther. But let's continue.
he hasn't done anything of meaning this year to, like, get this push. And there
I'm going to keep this short and sweet. It doesn't fucking matter if you're not a fan of Gunther. It does not fucking matter. Triple H is putting focus on Gunther whether you like it or not. He's getting the push whether you like it or not. So why waste your energy going on social media and complaining to the masses, oh, Gunther doesn't deserve this, Gunther doesn't deserve that. It don't matter what the fuck we think. It doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. Gunther is getting the push. We need to either accept it. We need to accept it, is what I'm pretty much saying. Okay? You don't have to watch it. How people tell me you don't have to watch. You don't have to watch. It is what it is. You're going to comment on it. That's fine. But you're not looking very smart because you're complaining about something that's not going to change. So why continue to complain about it? Gunther is popular with the vast majority of people. That's the problem. If he wasn't popular at all, this would be, I'm not going to complain at all about this. Everything she's saying, I'd be like, yep. You might not be a fan of Gunther. That is totally fine. But there are a vast majority of WWE fans, like myself, who are fans of Gunther. The main person who's a fan of Gunther is the man that's running WWE creatively right now, and that's Triple H. Gunther isn't going anywhere.
the reactions he got was pretty mid. It's like, dude, you would have thought.
Okay. The fans in the arena, right? They weren't really that great. Oh, they were mid. They're still. This is crazy. I just don't think she understands. They're trying to cope with the reality of John Cena being retired. They are trying to cope that WWE chose somebody like Gunther instead of somebody else that they would have rather wanted to face John Cena. John Cena chose Gunther. John Cena wanted Gunther. Triple H wanted Gunther. John Cena was okay for it to be Gunther. You're grabbing straws at this point as to why you're not a fan of Gunther. Simple.
He would have got like a reaction like what Roman got when he retired Undertaker. And
people are still trying to cope that John Cena retired. They are trying to, in their mind, like, yo, did he really retire? I don't like this dude, Gunther. I don't like this guy, Gunther. Why? Because he retired their hero. He retired their GOAT. So they're trying to just cope with the reality of what just took place.
He literally retired the greatest of all time, John Cena, and the crowd still didn't even care like that.
They're trying to cope with what happened.
That just shows Gunther, nobody really cares about him.
See? Okay, here's here's one of my real problems. Nobody cares about nobody. There are people that do care about Gunther. The WWE cares about Gunther. That's all that matters. The WWE cares about Gunther. It don't matter if you don't care about Gunther. It doesn't matter if anybody in the arena doesn't care about Gunther. The reality of the situation is there's one man that cares about Gunther, and that's Triple H. There are multiple people in the creative team that care about Gunther. There are people in WWE who care about Gunther. So it doesn't matter if we don't care about him or not. Now, I care about him. I love Gunther. Always have, always will. I've always been a fan of Gunther, even in his days on NXT UK when he was fat as hell, respectfully. I've always been a fan of Gunther. That is never going to change. You can't change people's perceptions. You can't change people's minds. I can't change people who are not a fan of Gunther to be like, you know what? Be a fan of Gunther. I can't change that. And I'm not going to change it because I don't care. I put my opinions out there. I love being in the community, being in the Discord, seeing what other people think. But at the end of the day, my opinions are my opinions. All my opinions I tweet out are my opinions. All the opinions I put out on Instagram and TikTok are my opinions. And all of the in-depth conversations that I have on this platform, on YouTube, on this podcast, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, they're my opinions. Simple. Nobody doesn't have to agree with me. Nobody doesn't have to like it. Everybody can like it. It's great. And if you do like Gunther and you love my opinions right now, I really appreciate it. And if you guys can do me a solid, like that video on YouTube. Subscribe to the Wrestling Takeover podcast on YouTube, youtube.com/JT Takeover. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Turn on all notifications so you guys don't miss any upcoming videos on the Wrestling Takeover podcast. All right? I got more content coming for y'all. So be on the lookout as we end an interesting year for the Wrestling Takeover podcast in 2025. We're going to be going hard like crazy in 2026 on YouTube. I'm telling you right now. So be on the lookout. So many videos are going to be coming up. I got y'all covered. But let's continue on with this video.
If Gunther was actually a really good heel, then the reactions would have been way more. Like, people would have started coming, cussing him out, doing all this type of stuff.
They were doing that on Saturday Night's Main Event. They were doing that on Saturday Night's Main Event. What? Okay.
Stuff like the reaction was mid. If you say, oh, that was a really good reaction. How? You retired the greatest of all time. John.
Yes. They retired, or Gunther retired the greatest of all time. Not my GOAT, but he's definitely in the Mount Rushmore. But, like I said, the fans are still trying to cope with what transpired. They still can't believe that John Cena retired. So, yeah, the reaction might not be what it is or what it's supposed to be. That's all it is. Watch as the weeks go on. Gunther is going to get the heel heat. Gunther is very smart. He's going to attract the heel heat some way, shape, or form, he's going to attract it.
Cena, and you still couldn't get that much good of reactions. So it's like there's nothing else to talk about. Like, Gunther hasn't told any good stories, hasn't cut any good promos. His matches.
She is on the promo stuff. She's on the promo stuff. There's a vast majority of people on the main roster in WWE, period, who don't cut good promos. I'm going to say that right now respectfully. There are people who don't cut good promos. Gunther is one of those people who cut good promos. What is up with this narrative of Gunther can't cut good promos? Roman Reigns couldn't cut good promos with the Big Dog era. He was not good at all. Tribal Chief, he can cut good promos because he's being himself. Gunther has always cut good promos. The thing is, you don't like the way he talks. You don't like the way he acts when he cuts promos. You can understand what he's saying. You just don't want to understand what he's saying because you're not a fan of Gunther. So what any type of positivity you would give somebody like Gunther, in your opinion, you're going to be like, I'm reaching, because you're not a fan of that individual. And that's fine. Just say that, though. It seems like this woman is coming up with just excuses. That's all it is to me. This video is almost over, by the way. But like I said, half of this podcast is going to be dedicated to the Gunther and John Cena situation because I didn't talk about it. So this is the chunk of the podcast. So I just want to respectfully let everybody know that the chunk of this podcast on the state of the WWE is about John Cena's retirement, the aftermath of it, and the Gunther situation. So I just want to let everybody know that. I do have other topics that I will get to in a little bit.
Are pretty solid to mid, like nothing crazy.
They're pretty solid to mid. Gunther in mid, when it comes to matches, again, to each their own. Respect. That's cool. That's cool. If you think that Gunther has mid matches, you tripping, but respect to you. Does Gunther have mid matches? Absolutely not. Mid and Gunther in the same sentence? Nah. Nah. I just feel like she's grabbing straws at this point. She's grabbing straws.
Crazy, but people just, he's overrated, man.
He's overrated. He's overrated. Okay.
Like, I don't understand why he gets pushed this hard and they're trying to give him.
Triple H is a fan of Gunther. So Triple H is not going to give a fuck what you think, what I think, what anybody else thinks. Even the people who are a fan of Gunther, Triple H knows that. For the people who are not a fan of Gunther, he doesn't care what you guys think because he's going to continue to push Gunther whether you like it or not. And here's where she's going to talk about this Legend Killer thing, and this is what I really want to get into. So let's take a listen to what she has to say here because this was hilarious to me.
This Legend Killer like storyline where he's taking out legends and ending their careers. Like he's gonna retire AJ Styles next year and also probably Brock Lesnar as well. It's like, dude, we don't need to see all this, man.
That's the story, though. You don't have to see it. You could simply just not watch. That's it. You're upset that there are people who are on social media, like myself, tweeting our opinions about where WWE is going with Gunther. These are people like myself who are fans of Gunther who want to see him succeed. Oh, he's going to be the modern day Legend Killer. It's perfect for him. That's perfect. You retired Bill Goldberg. You retired John Cena. You're going to retire AJ Styles. You're going to retire Brock Lesnar. That's perfect. The final boss, evil foreigner heel, Gunther, who talks shit and who backs it the fuck up. That's what we need. The final boss. That I'm going to talk my shit. And I'm letting you know. You going to get your ass beat. And then he ended up beating John Cena's ass anyway. He was letting people know, like, yo, I'm going to fuck him up. I'm going to beat him. And most importantly, I'm going to tap him out. And he tapped him out. I love that shit. You talk your shit, you talk your talk, and he walked the walk. I can't hate about that. You're mad that Gunther is going on this legend killer persona, but then you're over here saying, oh, he doesn't have a character. That's the character, though. That's the character. That's the personality. That's the vibe. That's the aura that Gunther possesses. The legend killer, the modern day legend killer, taking out all the legends, retiring him. Him becoming the new generation of Roman Reigns' final boss. That's Gunther. That's Gunther. Him slaying the beast in Brock Lesnar. That's a final boss. And when there's a babyface that comes around, where Gunther is the final boss, he's on the other side of the building. When that babyface comes around, who was on the level of a Gunther, who was believable to beat somebody like Gunther, it's going to be perfect because all of that energy, all of that vibe, from Gunther beating AJ Styles, retiring him, retiring Bill Goldberg, retiring John Cena, and retiring Brock Lesnar, all of that ammo, all of that, right? Thanos, that's Gunther. The Stones, that's Gunther. He's going to take all of that energy, and he's going to put it into somebody who is going to be a new superstar. We don't know who that person is. But Gunther's got to get through, Brock Lesnar and AJ Styles and maybe Randy Orton. We don't know. But whoever he gets through, that person who beats Gunther, it's like they're building him to be bigger than the world championship. That's the vibe. That's the perception that I'm getting from it. If Gunther's bigger than the championship, I want Gunther. I don't want the championship. I want somebody who defeated Brock Lesnar, who retired Brock Lesnar, who retired and beat John Cena, who retired and defeated Bill Goldberg, who retired and defeated AJ Styles. I want to face that person. They're making him the modern day Undertaker, where Undertaker had the undefeated streak until somebody came along, the wrong person, respectfully. I love Brock Lesnar, but I would not have ended the streak. That's just my personal opinion. But the person came around who was on the same level, even bigger than Undertaker, defeated him and ended the streak. And all that power went to Brock Lesnar. And then he ended up squashing John Cena, and all that energy, all that level went to a new up-and-coming superstar, that being Roman Reigns. Come on, man. You can't. You gotta think. And like I said, I pride myself on honesty. I pride myself on that. I pride myself also on creativity. I pride myself on that. I hold myself to that standard. People might not hold me to that standard. Cool. You might think I'm a nobody. That's cool. But I know my abilities. I know what I bring to the table. Anybody could be honest. I ain't worried about that. I'm not worried about that. Even though there's not a lot of honest people in the community, respectfully. But yeah, everybody could be honest. That creativity is just a different type of heat, different type of aura. I possess that, respectfully. I try to be humble and everything like that, but I know what I bring to the table. You have an opportunity to create a mega heel, a monster heel, a generational heel, a generational superstar here with Gunther, and WWE possesses that. Why are you going to look down upon that? That makes no sense to me. Let's continue.
Gunther, enough, man.
She's pausing. This is what I'm saying. She's grabbing straws. That's not, sweetheart, you're grabbing straws. She says enough, man. Like, enough what? Enough what? You got to understand, just like everybody else who aren't fans of Gunther, you don't have to be fans of Gunther. Gunther don't want your praises. You don't want none of that shit. If you ain't rocking with him, you ain't rocking with him. That's cool. But Gunther's not going nowhere, though. That's the thing. And that's what I want to bring awareness to the people who have the same mindset, have the same opinion that this woman's got. Gunther ain't going nowhere. Y'all got to deal with it. Y'all don't have to watch. They ain't forcing you to watch this shit. If you don't want to watch it, you ain't got to watch it. Don't talk about it then. If it bothers you that much that Gunther's being pushed. And this is, this is the funny thing too. And I'm guilty of this. We're all guilty of this. We talk, we post on social media, right? I'm going to take accountability as well. We talk on social media. We tweet our opinions. We post them on TikTok and all this other stuff, right? The things that we say, is it really going to change WWE? Yes and no. Do we have some type of power? Yes, we do. Does WWE listen to its fan base when they need to? Yes. But majority of the time, no, they do not. But this situation right here with Gunther, it's like WWE is not listening to you. They're not listening to you when it comes to Gunther. They love Gunther. They want to position Gunther as one of the final bosses in WWE, as one of the future pillars of the WWE, universe here. Gunther's not going nowhere.
Like, this dude gets pushed just to get pushed. You're telling me
Okay.
there's not other people in the back who can actually be good and take Gunther's spot? Like, stop it. Gunther is barely over anyways as a heel, so let's just be honest with ourselves.
Let's be honest with ourselves. No, sweetheart. You're putting your opinion out there. And you're trying to create this narrative that there's millions of people who agree with you. There's people who do agree with you, but it's not millions of people. You're trying to create a narrative that, yeah, guys, they use we. I'm going to say this in the most respectful way possible. Y'all niggas got to stop with the we shit. Y'all niggas got to stop with the we shit. It's you. It's not we. It's you. You feel this way. You feel compelled to give your opinion. That's why when I talk, I don't say we. I say me. I. Me, myself, and I. You feel me? What's we? This isn't we. This is you giving your opinion. That's cool. You have every right to. But don't point it out and make it seem like everybody is in the same sentiment as you. Because I seen the comments. There were, bro, I see the comments, dog. I never understand the Gunther criticism. Who's next? What is she talking about? Gunther's over. What are you talking about? Gunther's an incredible performer. I wouldn't be shocked if he won the 2026 Royal Rumble. Sounds like hate, not gonna lie. You're just hating. Leave Gunther alone. What are you talking about? This screams, I've never seen Gunther before on the main roster. You gotta get your priorities straight, girl, respectfully. Because you're reaching. You're reaching. I'm gonna keep it timid, like I've been keeping it timid. But you're reaching. I've been taking 40 plus minutes talking about this because I'm tired of the Gunther slander, bro. Y'all niggas gotta stop with that shit. Y'all niggas gotta stop with that shit. The Gunther slander is getting ridiculous. It's getting out of pocket, bro. Y'all niggas are just reaching for something to hate on Gunther about. Oh, it's promos. Y'all are reaching, bro. Y'all are reaching. You know what I mean? Listen.
Just what the truth is. I don't get it.
The truth. That's your truth, sweetheart. That's not my truth. That's not nobody else's truth. That's your truth. That's not the truth. That's the truth to you and your opinion. And that's cool. That's not the truth, though.
Gunther.
I don't get Gunther. Baby, Gunther don't want you to get him either. I don't want you to get Gunther. If you don't like Gunther, that's cool. But don't make it seem like there's millions of people who don't like Gunther. That's cap. Come on.
He's not offering anything. Like, he's barely over. He doesn't sell merchandise. And
okay, the selling the merchandise stuff, he's a heel. He's a heel. I don't remember a lot of heels selling merchandise. And yes, he doesn't sell a lot of merchandise. We know that in general. So that what does that mean? He's not over?
Doesn't move any tickets. Doesn't do anything.
A lot of the people in WWE don't move tickets, baby. A lot of the people in WWE don't move tickets. What are you talking about? They don't move tickets, and they're still over or respectfully over.
Think of meaning, but he gets this push. He's not even that good of a heel, like I said. Is he? Even if he is a good heel, I don't think he is. Like, it's just truth, man. And the reactions he got.
It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's not the truth, baby. That's your opinion. Like I said, I went 40 plus minutes about this because I need to talk about this. I need to talk about it. I need to get it off my chest. My opinion on it. You feel me? It's not your truth, baby. It's not everybody else's truth, baby. It's your truth. It is what it is. That's your opinion. That's how you rock, and it's cool. You're not a fan of Gunther, that's cool. But the Gunther slander, y'all got to cut it out, man. Y'all got to cut it out. Because you're just grabbing straws at this point as to why you're not a fan of Gunther, and that's okay. But don't make it seem like Gunther is not great, because he is. Triple H is a fan of him. He's not going nowhere. So let's come up with a different topic to talk about. But that's my piece on it, on this Gunther situation, y'all. With John Cena. John Cena's gone, bro. John Cena's gone. It's sad. It is sad. But you know, he wanted a better WWE, and giving Gunther that possession was the right course of action. Because look at the reaction that Gunther received. Y'all got to understand the business and the creative mindset, bro. Y'all are just in your feelings, and that's okay to be in your feelings. But at the end of the day, it's like, yo, what happened, it is what it is. John Cena wanted it. John Cena gonna get what he wanted. Simple. Respect. Let's move on, man. Let's move on. Let's talk about, I want to talk about Stephanie Valkyr, and I want to talk about Jade Cargill, okay? Let's talk about a new topic. Yes, okay, I have seen it, and I need to be honest with Stephanie Valkyr and the fan base. In the fan base, because I'm in the fan base. I love Stephanie Valkyr. Big fan. They have no plan for Stephanie Valkyr as the champ. And this is a running gag with a lot of its champions in WWE. They don't have plans for any of these motherfuckers, bro. Like, let's be real. They have no plans for them. They have no plans for Stephanie Valkyr. They just put the title on her because she's popular. The kiss of death. And I don't want Stephanie Valkyr to just be labeled as just that, the kiss of death. Like, I get it. Okay? She's great. We know that. Okay? But I don't want her to be labeled just, oh yeah, the kiss of death. That's the only reason why you're over. And you're attractive. That's it. Like, yo, what? Like, no, I want more for Stephanie Valkyr. I want more than that. She hasn't really given the proper time to really create and cultivate a character. They just put her out there like that in front of they just put her in the lion's den, bro. And she's getting eaten right now, legitimately. From a booking standpoint, the lions are the bookers, the creative. Those are the lions, and they're eating her up right now. Her reign has not been good at all. Let's keep it real respectfully, though. Stephanie Valkyr's title reign has been terrible. Piss poor. It's not baby's fault. Ain't hers. That's the creative's fault. How you not have plans for Stephanie Valkyr as the champ? You're continuing the feud with Nikki Bella. Why? Why are you continuing the feud with Nikki Bella? You're only continuing the feud with Nikki Bella if Nikki Bella is going to win the title. If she's not going to win the title, why are you continuing it? Oh, wait, you have nothing for Stephanie Valkyr to do. Whose fault is that? That's what I don't understand. It's like, do y'all not come up with any type of planning at all? Like, do y'all really book week to week? And that's fine booking week to week, but do you have some sort of long-term plan in there at all? If people are saying, oh, Nikki Bella needs to beat Stephanie Valkyrie, Nikki Bella, if she beats Stephanie Valkyrie, she's not going to hold the title for long, no. She's not going to hold the title for that long. Stephanie Valkyrie needs to hold the title all the way to WrestleMania, and her opponent needs to be Rhea Ripley. If Rhea Ripley teams with Io Sky and they go after the women's tag team titles at WrestleMania, cool, is what it is. The question is, who would be Stephanie Valkyrie's opponent? WWE ain't got nothing. If Becky Lynch? Bro, if WWE books Becky Lynch versus Stephanie Valkyrie at WrestleMania for the women's championship, cool. Not going to complain. It is what it is. And to be honest, I kind of feel like that's where WWE is going. I think WWE is going to book Becky Lynch and Stephanie Valkyrie for the women's title because I seen a rumor in the past couple months that the rumor is Stephanie Valkyrie is going to face one of these two individuals, Rhea Ripley or Becky Lynch. One of those women, along with Bianca Belair, are going to win the Women's Royal Rumble. I'm telling you that right now. So when I talk about the Royal Rumble conversation in the next couple weeks before the end of the year, I'm going to be talking about that. Becky Lynch is a person to really look out for as a potential opponent for Stephanie Valkyrie. So I'm just telling y'all right now. I'm just telling y'all. Okay, brace yourselves. I know y'all want Rhea Ripley. I want Rhea Ripley and Stephanie Valkyrie. Simple. That should be the plan. No doubt about it. AJ Lee, Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. Let's do it. It's picture perfect. Gets everybody on the card. But they might do Rhea Ripley and Io in a tag team. Go after the women's tag team titles at WrestleMania. If they do that, it is what it is. I wouldn't do that, but, at the end of the day, you got to think of Io too. Io needs to be on that card. I personally would book Io versus Asuka at WrestleMania, but I don't know how WWE's rocking. I'm just coming up with scenarios. So y'all got to think about that, man. We might not get Valkyrie versus Ripley at WrestleMania. We might actually get Valkyrie versus Lynch at WrestleMania, and then Rhea Ripley and Io Sky going for the tag team titles. Something to think about. That is something to really, really think about. But I think Valkyrie is going to hold it into WrestleMania. She will go into WrestleMania as the women's champion. Same thing with Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill, her reign has been terrible. Her reign has been just as bad as Stephanie Valkyrie's. Not their fault, the creative team. We all understand that. This perception of Jade Cargill as a heel has been solid so far. I expected a little bit more. And again, it seems like they have no plan for Jade Cargill right now. They have no plan. Now, we know who our opponent is going to be, though. Let's keep it a stack. Let's keep it thugged out. We already know what it is, bro. It's Bianca Belair. We know this. We fucking know this shit. Okay? Now, does Bianca Belair win the Women's Royal Rumble or the Elimination Chamber? Who knows? She's going to win one of those, and she's going to go into WrestleMania, and she's going to challenge Jade Cargill for the women's title. And Bianca Belair needs to beat Jade Cargill. Simple. Okay? Is what it is. So that's kind of solidified with Jade Cargill. But with Stephanie Valkyrie, we don't know yet. It's either Rhea Ripley or Becky Lynch. It's going to be one of those two. And I do not want to see a triple threat. Ain't trying to see that. I want to see a 1v1 Valkyrie versus Lynch, Valkyrie Ripley. Simple. Austin Theory. Austin Theory is announced to be the mystery guy on the Vision. I love it. I know people. Montez Ford. I think Montez Ford is still in here. I think Montez Ford is going to get a singles push, and I think Montez Ford is going to be in this group. But Austin Theory needs to be the main focus right now with this conversation. WWE, you guys have done a piss poor job at presenting Austin Theory. I have been saying on my show for the longest time, Austin Theory needs to be a man, along with the others, that you built the company around, like a Braun Breaker, a Carmelo Hayes, right? A Trick Williams, an Obafemi. You build around these guys. Austin Theory needs to be right there, right in center. And as the months are going on, I'm becoming frustrated. I'm like, bro, why are they not booking Austin Theory? We got it now. He's the quote-unquote mystery guy. I think there's another one. There might be two more, but we don't know yet. We're just going on based on what we're getting here. He's the mystery man. Triple H, don't fuck this up, please. Do not fuck this up. Because you have a track record of taking stories and going on way beyond their expiration date. Don't fuck this up. Please. Austin Theory, this is it, bro. This is it. This is your time to shine, bro. This is your time to shine, to kill it, and let WWE know that you are part of the future. You're part of the future. I'm a big advocate for Austin Theory, man, because I definitely see the vision. No pun intended. That's why you're in the vision, because I see the vision. If Paul Heyman sees the vision, he's a big fan of Austin Theory. Let's do it. He's working with Heyman. He did it good with Roman Reigns. Let's see he could do it with, Austin Theory and Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker and maybe somebody else. And let's get a female in there. I don't know, but Austin Theory is somebody that I really want the world for because I do see the vision, no pun intended, with Austin Theory. He needs to be a part of the future plans, along with everybody else, Dominic Mysterio, Carmelo Hayes, and all the people in NXT. Austin Theory needs to be there, Grayson Waller, and give him more opportunities. So, that's my piece on that, guys. Obafemi, I'm going to end it with this. Obafemi and Drew McIntyre. I think that needs to be the plan for WrestleMania. I think there's a story there from what we got at Saturday night's main event. Obafemi on the main roster in a big-time match with Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania makes all the sense in the world. Obafemi's aura, nigga. His aura is just insane, bro. Obafemi, another dude WWE needs to build the promotion around. And if you pay attention and you really look at who's being featured, you can tell who WWE really wants to push. Obafemi, right? Javon Evans, right? Lyra Valkyria, Roxanne Perez, a Braun Breaker, a Bronson Reed, Austin Theory. There's many other people, Last Legend. You can see who WWE really wants to put the focus on. There's more in NXT, of course. Sol Ruka, another person. You can see who WWE wants to put the focus on. Let's see what WWE's going to do with someone like Obafemi. Triple H. Oh, Triple H. I don't really have a lot of faith in Triple H, to be honest. I really don't. But you need to start building new stars, man. These legends, these GOATs, they leaving. Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, CM Punk. Watch when they go. So you need to build towards the future right now, and it looks like they're doing that finally. I think that needs to be the blueprint going into 2026. Build for the future. Put the future front and center. The established stars are still going to be there. They're the legends. They're the GOATs. But 2026 needs to be about building for the future. Let me know how y'all thinking about today's topics, man. I appreciate everybody who stayed and listened to the whole podcast. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Great conversations today about, Obafemi, Drew McIntyre, Stephanie Valkyrie, Jade Cargill, and the big two stories. My opinion on Saturday night's main event with John Cena retiring and Gunther. And if you guys did not check out my favorite John Cena matches of his career, please go check it out. I did post it. Give it a listen. I would really appreciate it. But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all's support. Bless up. And I'll see y'all next time on a brand new video on the Wrestling Takeover Podcast.